This is Business Report Nigeria, brought to you by your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. I am Ruel Panawo. Mele Kyari, Group General Manager, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, said on Thursday, March 25th, that the federal government subsidizes premium multi-spirit, popularly called petrol, with about 120 billion naira every month. He made it clear that the actual cost of importation and handling charges amounts to 234 naira per litre, and this had been handed by the government previously for it to be sold at 162 naira per litre. Speaking at a weekly ministerial briefing at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Mele Kyari said the NNPC would no longer bear the cost, and with time Nigerians would have to pay the actual cost, as market forces must determine the pump price of petrol in the country. In his words, I will not say we are in subsidy regime, but we are in a situation where we are trying to exit this underpriced sale of PMS until we come to terms with the full price of the products in the market. The United Arab Emirates, UAE, in Nigeria has said as part of efforts to end the suspension of inbound and outbound flights between both countries, its government has decided to remove the compulsory requirements for rapid antigen tests for Dubai-bound passengers from Nigeria. The disclosure was made in a letter addressed to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, dated March 24, 2021. However, some requirements were issued for the Nigerian government to meet before the move is made. The requirements include a maximum of 200 passengers on inbound flights to the UAE for 2 weeks. Direct flights between Nigeria and UAE are allowed as long as the passengers present a valid negative PCR test conducted within 48 hours before boarding. Godwin Emefiele, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, has disclosed plans to reduce wheat importation by 60% in 2 years, 2023. Now, while assuring the public that there was no need to panic over the current prices of food items, which would soon have moderate prices, the governor said the bank's commitments include the improvement of local production of wheat and reduction of importation by 60% over the next 2 years. He applauded farmers for their consistency while warning hoarders and smugglers of food products to desist from such practices, even as the bank works with relevant agencies to ensure the stability of food prices in the country. Financial experts have said Nigeria's ability to fix its economic stagnation will be propelled by its active involvement in the emerging Africa Continental Free Trade Area. At a virtual event on the risk and reward of AFCFTA, Francis Anatugu, Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on public sector matters, said regional trade was the main avenue for developing countries intent on trading prosperously. He said, and I quote, while the Nigerian government continues to diversify the productive base of the economy within and beyond the petroleum industries, the emerging free trade area across Africa will enable our companies to enhance productivity growth through competition and specialization, and eventually consolidate Nigeria's hub position in the services sector. It is expected that the rewards of the continental free trade area would outweigh the risks. There's more coming up on Business Report Nigeria. I will be back after the short break. At an interactive session held with the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, the Senate Committee on Power expressed concerns over what it sees as low performance of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Sanusi Garba, the NERC chairman, said as of March 19, 2021, the commission only recorded 13% implementation from a project expected to provide 1 million meters to houses across the country between October 2020 and April 2021, according to him. While 403,000 out of the targeted 1 million meters has been delivered to the various discos, only 127,000 have been installed. This poor performance has, however, been attributed to delay in the disbursement of funds, which was made available to the discos in February 2021. Unimpressed, Senator Gabriel Suswam on the committee of the Senate panel said the performance report on the mass metering project is not impressive and encouraging at all. The commissions and the discos are scheduled to appear before the committee again by the end of next month. Water producers in Nigeria have cried out over the negative impact the COVID-19 pandemic has had on their businesses, as well as the lack of raw materials. The manufacturers have asked the government to intervene quickly. Ebere Ibiawuchi, chairman of the Water Producers Association of Nigeria, said things changed as a result of the pandemic and the cost of material importation for water had hit the roof. In his words, and I quote, "The importance of the raw materials in our industry are finding it difficult sourcing for raw materials vis-a-vis availability of foreign exchange. So other countries supplying us have not gone back to full capacity utilization. Hence, supply is low, demand is high. We are trying to cope." Clementina Chinwe, national president of Association of Table Waters Producers of Nigeria, said 99% of Nigerians would not be able to afford water if the price of production is disclosed. Mr. Alex Oko, Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, has said over 500 billion naira has been saved by the federal government from the privatization of the port infrastructure reform to set Nigeria as a major destination for trade. Thus, involving the private sector did save the government lots of money, and in the space of 11 years, the government had been able to make 535 billion naira after the privatization. Now, according to him, the money was generated in the form of fees paid, throughput fees, investment in infrastructure, and investment in other equipment. Taxes paid to the government between 2006 and 2017 came to a total of 538 billion naira. A bill to restrict foreign vessels from engaging in commercial activities within Nigeria's domestic coastal and inland waters has passed for second reading at the House of Representatives. Now sponsored by Representative Linda Chubai-Kweazu, the bill seeks to make amendments to restrict the use of foreign vessels in domestic coastal and inland commercial activities, promote the development of indigenous tonnage, and establish a capitalized vessel financing fund. Passing the bill would make maritime operations smoother and provide good financing funding as well. You're still watching Business Report Nigeria. I will be back after the short break. Thank you for staying with us on Business Report Nigeria. The Security and Exchange Commission, SEC, intervened in Oando PLC management without sharing the forensic audit report. This led to sanctions against the company. A federal high court in Kano has termed the entirety of this as illegal. The court said the SEC acted arbitrarily in suspending the management of Oando, and this led the court to award a 250,000 naira cost against the SEC in favor of the Oando shareholders. Justice A. Louis Alagwa, the presiding judge, dismissed the SEC preliminary objection and granted all the relief sought by the Oando shareholders. Shareholders in Kano are optimistic about the ruling, referring to it as a big win. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, has said the federal government spent in excess of 100 billion naira in the aviation industry between 2015 to date to develop the aviation sector, represented at the 8th edition of the Aviation Workers' Week and an award night by Barrister Abdullahi Mohammed, the Minister of State for Science and Technology. Sirika said the funds were spent on equipment, infrastructure, staff welfare, and remodeling of the airports, amongst other things. Hector Nadi, the chairman of the JCNC, requested that the National Council on Civil Aviation be set up, as this stands as a platform for most ministries to examine, explore, initiate, profile, and compare notes on key policy decisions or issues. On Thursday, March 25th, the domestic equities market maintained positive momentum as investors gained 108.5 billion naira, with market capitalization rising to 20.6 trillion naira. Trading activity reduced as volume and value declined 36.6% and 33.7% respectively. Some of the most traded stocks by volume were Guaranty Trust Bank and Zenith Bank leading with 599 million naira and 421.7 million naira respectively. Performance was bullish across sectors as four indicators, trended northward. And on a final note, Nigeria's biggest company, Dangote Cement PLC, gave a report of a 16% soared in revenue for 2020. This is its biggest annual sales ever, bringing total sales to more than 1 trillion naira. Profit before tax soared by 49%, and profit for the year had a 37.7% jump, lifting earnings per share with more than 4 naira. The company's board proposed a 16 naira per share dividend for shareholders for 2020, and on Tuesday, shares in Dangote Cement closed in at 220 naira per unit, trading up by 3.09%. And on that note, we end Business Report Nigeria. Thank you for watching. Do follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at TOS TV Network. I'm Ruel Panao. Thank you for watching.